Welcome to our studies in Romans, and I have been using this commentary by John Stott. It has been very helpful, very useful. I will continue my studies in chapter 11, verse 25 onwards. As you have already seen what I said last time, in verse 1 to 24 in chapter 11, two things that Paul wants to emphasize. One is the promise of God to the Jews, the chosen people of God. He gives hope amidst hopelessness, especially when his own people have rejected Messiah. They have failed to understand the covenant of God, the fulfillment of the covenant of Abraham through Jesus Christ. They failed to understand. And so when Jews have denied and rejected, it seems like there is a hopelessness among the people of God. But Paul says, no, it's not yet over. Don't generalize it. There are some Jews who have believed and received, although majority have rejected. So there is a hope. So he continues to assure about the promise of God. But at the same time, the second thing is he gives a warning. He says, don't take it for granted. God has been merciful to the Gentiles who were disobedient, upon whom God's wrath was resting. They were not people of covenant. They didn't have a law. But yet God had mercy upon them. When the Jews' heart were hardened, God sent the gospel among the Gentiles and many were saved. So don't take, his covenant, new covenant, which is given to the Gentiles for granted. You are saved by faith alone. So be humble in your faith and continue in your faith. Now today, verse 25 onwards, I read, Paul says, I do not want you to be ignorant of this mystery, brothers, so that you may not be conceited. Israel has experienced a hardening in part until the full number of the Gentiles has come in. And so all Israel will be saved, as it is written, the deliverer will come from Zion. He will turn godlessness away from Jacob. And this is my covenant with them when I take away their sins. All Israel will be saved. What is this word all? How do you exegete? How do you interpret the word all? Does it mean that by all means just because they are born of Abraham, because they are biologically descendant of, children of the Abraham, they are Jews, they all will be saved? Dr. Stendhal, John Stott mentions about a person. His name is Bishop Crystal Stendhal. He actually promotes two covenant theology. Bishop Crystal Stendhal, John Stott mentioned about two covenant theology. He believed that there are two covenants, that all those who are uncovered under the covenant of Abraham, no matter who they are, if they are Jews, they are already saved. And in agreement with his theory, there are many who believe that there is no need of sending missionary among the Jews, because the Jews are already saved. And if we are trying to evangelize Jews, converting them from Judaism to Christianity, it's a kind of anti-Semitic. We are trying to destroy the Judaism. Jews has already faced physical annihilation. 6 million Jews were, destroyed physically. Evangelism among the Jews is like destroying them religiously, So there is no need of sending missionaries among the Jews. That was the concept they believed. But Professor Dunn and many other professors, including John Stott, do not agree with that. There is no two covenant theory, because exegetically you cannot prove that. Jesus has come as a fulfillment. The new covenant is the fulfillment of the old covenant. There is no two covenant theory. There is no two track. Otherwise, Paul would not talk about one new humanity in Christ. He does not see Jews and Gentile as a two separate track. And so all means what? It's not necessarily 100% the Jews, irrespective of who they are, but all those who are elected and chosen. The deliverer will come from Zion. The first thing is surely the salvation is through Jesus Christ, not through Mosaic law, not through biological descent. It's not simply Abrahamic covenant that will bring salvation, but it has to come through Jesus Christ. The deliverer will come from Zion. He will turn godlessness away from Jacob. And so God will bring them and he will turn. And verse 27 he says, and this is my covenant, the new covenant with them. When I take away their sin, God will atone them, forgive their sins. The Jews also need the forgiveness of sin in Jesus and through Jesus. So it is so important that we continue evangelism of Jews. We must continue to present the gospel, proclaim the gospel to them. Their salvation is also completed in and through Jesus Christ. God is building one new humanity in and through Jesus Christ, and there is no Jews and Gentile. So we have to understand, especially verse 25 and 26, in total, in relation to the whole biblical teaching, and in relation to the Paul's holistic writing, when he talks about the mystery in Colossians, he talks about mystery in Ephesians, the mystery in which Jesus unites both Gentiles and Jews. May God bless you as you continue to persist in making the gospel known to others. God bless you and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.